Hi everyone, and good morning from the Allure of the Seas cruise ship, one of the biggest cruise ships in the entire world. Our first time on this ship. I am very, very excited to be here. I go by the legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend, Molly.
I like the Oasis class ships.
Yeah, in this video we're going to show you everything that the ship has to offer, starting here on the pool deck. Kind of a non-traditional pool deck on this ship because it's a gigantic. Yes. There are 4 different pools and about 7 or 8 hot tubs. The pool deck is kind of over the Central Park area of the ship, and there'll be music out here.
It's on deck 15.
Yep. There'll be music out here. They'll do a belly flop competition later. I believe in this pool they're gonna have like pool volleyball later as well.
Yeah, that's I think the sports pool is what they call it. They did a lot of water aerobics. They also have line dancing out here.
Yeah, a band's gonna be ready to play in just any minute now. And here we go. We're gonna show you around one of the biggest cruise ships in the entire world. Worth noting that one of those 4 pools is one dedicated especially for the little ones, and there's going to be all sorts of things for them to splash around in over here, along with their more normal pool, along with water guns. And then there's this thing over here on the left that's kind of like a giant whirlpool. I don't think it was heated, but it went around in a circle. Up on deck 16 at the top of the ship, you do have some kind of cuddle pod type things, which are very relaxing, which are first come, first serve. Couple more things to note about the pool deck area. There's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different pool bars between decks 15 and deck 16. Also on Royal Caribbean, you do have to check out your towels. So you got to bring your key card up to the kiosk, tell your man your room number, and then you get the towels. Make sure you bring them back, because if not, you get charged. Also, I absolutely love these hot tubs. They are some of the biggest hot tubs you'll see anywhere. They hang over the side of the ship, and they even have TVs so you can watch the game. On the top deck, on the back of the ship, you'll find the sports area. There's a big zip line that goes all over the boardwalk. There is a sports court that they use a lot. It's set up for pickleball right now, but they'll do dodgeball tournaments, basketball competitions, soccer. It's actually used quite a bit. Turning around, you get the mini golf course here on board the ship. A pretty good sized mini golf course.
It's not your traditional ones that you see on a lot of ships right now, so I'll enjoy it. It looks really well kept too.
And very popular.
Yeah.
Molly, I had to turn the camera back on over here because this practice green is just too adorable.
Look at all the gophers and the turtles.
We are way, way, way up high. Up here on deck 15 in the back of the ship. Well, you'll find the Flow Rider surf simulators where you can do stand-up surfing or boogie boarding. And there's also Adirondack chairs and the Wipeout bar. In the sports court area, there's also ping pong. I think it's the finals of the ping pong tournament. I do like these chairs, especially with the little footrest. These are found sort of by the mini golf course.
They have a lot of different chairs. They have an Adirondack chair too on deck 15. Good seats, and they have not filled up much.
On the top deck in the front of the ship, you'll get the adults-only Solarium area, home to a big Solarium bar, and then there's a couple big hot tubs, lots of loungers, an adults-only pool, which I love. It's
a small pool, though.
Yes.
It's very full.
And I love how there's like a human car wash kind of thing in the middle, which it does get hot. This is kind of open air, but I do like having an adults-only area on the ship. Our sailing, I feel like, does not have a ton of kids on it, but some Royal Caribbean sailings do. Also 2 very big, nice hot tubs. And there's also the Solarium Bistro over here, which is open for breakfast every day, lunch on embarkation day and sea days, and then in the evening it becomes a specialty restaurant known as the Samba Grill, which is like a Brazilian steakhouse. And
they do have bar service. If you're in the pool, they have roaming waiters.
It's wonderful.
And you can bring your drinks in the pool and hot tubs.
Yes, and I also really like the design of the Solarium Bistro area. There's like a river that runs through it. It's very peaceful and relaxing. On deck 4 in the front of the ship, they have what they call the entertainment court, and this is the entrance to the lower level of the main show theater, the Amber Theater, the Comedy Club, Studio B, which is the ice rink, as well as Blaze, which is the nightclub. On decks 4 and 5 in the front of the ship, you'll find the biggest venue on board the Allure of the Seas, and that is the Amber Theater, the main show theater on the ship. And this is used for their big stage shows. We were on a 4-night sailing. On night 1 of our cruise ship, they had my favorite show. It was called Blue Planet, an original production featuring all sorts of songs you know. But then there was also all sorts of acrobats and sets. It was wonderful. Absolutely loved that. On night 2, they put the comedians in there. And then on 3 and 4 on the sailing, that's when they did their big musical stage show, Mamma Mia. And this was a big production of Mamma Mia. It was very, very well done. Also very long. It was a 2.5-hour show, which is probably 2 hours more than I need to see Mamma Mia. Molly saw the whole thing and she absolutely loved it. Studio B is the ice rink on board, and they put on a big ice production show in here with all sorts of wonderful figure skaters. It's called Blades. I actually think it's one of the better ice shows I've seen on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Went very quick. It was pretty fun. Also, you can ice skate yourself at certain times of the voyage. You just have to make sure you're wearing socks and long pants, so don't forget to pack those. And then on one night of the sailing, it became like an area for more adult game shows as well as the ship's nightclub. Comedy Live is obviously the comedy club on board the Allure of the Seas, and we did see comedy one night. It was about a 50-minute show, and there were two different comedians, and it worked really well because one guy was more mellow and subdued, and the other guy was more outrageous and in your face. It was a really good time, but I will say, man, that's a very, very small venue for a ship with a ton of people on it. And the comedy shows, like a lot of shows on the Allure, they require reservations. And a lot of these shows you can book in advance, like probably 30 days or so before your cruise. And the comedy one sells out almost right away. So whether you want to go see the ice show, the aqua show, the comedy show, or the theater shows, I would definitely recommend booking them as soon as you can so you don't get shut out. Blaze is the ship's nightclub, and it's a pretty good nightclub. It's not too big, it's not too small. There's a big dance floor that you cannot bring your drinks onto, by the way. They keep making announcements about that. And I enjoyed the nightclub. I like that we do different theme nights. Night one of our cruise, they did a 2000s night, which is very much my music. I love that quite a bit. On the last night of our sailing, they did a silent disco in there, which was very popular. Again, silent disco on this size of ship in that small venue. Get there early because they did run out of headphones. We are currently on Deck 5, and what I really feel like is the heart and soul of the cruise ship, and that is the Royal Promenade, a big two-level, kind of feels like a mall, with shopping and dining and bars and all sorts of fun stuff. Now we're going to be walking from the back of the ship to the front of the ship, so we're starting by the main dining room and the boardwalk and heading towards the main show theater. And we're starting off here with the champagne bar, which is kind of like a classic lobby bar. Very friendly bartenders in there.
Great looking seats.
Yes, they do have great looking seats.
Right behind us, we have the port and shopping chest as well.
Yes. And then that brings us to this thing here. A very quirky feature on the cruise ship. That is the elevator bar. Now you see the thing that has the water dripping out of it? That'll move from Deck 5 all the way up to Deck 8 and then back down again. It is like one of those simple joys on these trips. I like doing it. I think I've been on it almost every day. And it's kind of fun because you can hear like the different music. Like you'll go up, they might stop and listen to the piano guy for a bit. You can listen to the bands that play here on the Promenade level.
It's probably about a 7 to 8, 10-minute ride, depending on if you stop or so.
Yeah.
And it departs probably every 25 minutes or so.
Yep. There's a fancy watch store over there. Guest services, which has always had a line.
Yes. But a very, organized line.
Yes. And well-staffed, too. There's normally a lot of people working there.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be your main area for shopping on board the Allure of the Seas. Starting over here on the right, that is the collection, so that's going to be fancy purses.
These are fun. These are small wonders, and if you go in there, you'll see something. Each one's different.
Yes. And they are all over the ship. Every Royal Promenade, they have one of these big, fancy cars you can take your picture next to, and they always have teddy bears in them.
Yes, but these teddy bears don't get outfits.
No. Cafe Promenade runs very, very long hours, and they'll have some pastries and stuff in the morning for breakfast, and sandwiches and desserts later on in the day. They also serve Starbucks coffee in there. Included
on the premium beverage plan if you are on.
Yes. Moving along is next cruise, so if you want to book a cruise while you're on a cruise, you could do that over there. And then over here is going to be another store, the Island Market. That definitely seems like more ladies' stuff. You're going to have a stage up here that'll be used for some of the big promenade parties as well as bands to play up there.
Yeah, on our sailing we have a Caribbean party, a 70s party, and a Latin party.
Yep. Somewhere I really like on the cruise ship. On the right is Sorrento's Pizza.
Oh boy.
Yeah, which is another venue that runs very, very long hours. I think it runs until like 2 or 3 in the morning. There's always a cheese and a pepperoni, and then there's a pizza of the day that'll change out.
Meat lovers are the best.
Yeah, they have meat lovers one.
Today is a Caribbean pizza.
Yeah, there's a barbecue chicken one that was really good. Another venue I really like, the Bow and Stern, which is the pub on board the ship. There's a lot of music on the Allure of the Seas, and the pub entertainer has been my favorite one. Really, really good guitar guy.
Yeah, his name's Jamie. He's from Scotland.
Yes.
Very active. He interacts with the audience quite a bit.
Yep, there is a TV in here to watch sports.
Welcome to pub.
Thank you.
Also, let's have the best beer selection on the ship as well, and little fans. One thing, the seating in here is not the most comfy.
Yeah.
Moving along, you can see they do set up various sales and things like that on the promenade.
We're here on a sea day, so there's
Yep.
a lot of shopping going on.
Yes, there's going to be a store on the left here. That'll be your duty-free liquor store. And also on the left, it's going to be kind of like 3 stores in one, but that's where you're going to get your Royal Caribbean logo merchandise. On the right, you're going to see the jewelry store.
Now, always do your research. Some are really good deals, some are questionable. So do your research on items before you come.
See, I don't know anything about jewelry or watches. I can tell you what's a good deal on the bottles of liquor and what's not.
But you even said some is not a good deal.
Yep. You do the Royal Shops over here, so if you want the Allure of the Seas merchandise.
And these sales do change, so it's a buy one, get one half off, or
Yeah.
something t-shirt sale.
This is actually coming up on one of my favorite pieces of art on the cruise ship. Right here by the Starbucks, you've got this tree, and there's little hummingbirds. Let me zoom in on it. And the hummingbirds are decked out in Swarovski crystals. On the left is going to be On Air, a venue that is used mostly for karaoke, but then there'll also be some game shows in there. I will say that it's a small venue, and if you want to go to any of the game shows in there, you definitely have to get there early because it fills up, and it'll fill up like 20 minutes before.
Yes, very, very fast and very crowded.
Yes, the ever-popular Starbucks coffee, so if you are a Starbucks fiend, that's where you go and get your fix.
Now, this one is not on the premium beverage package.
It is on no beverage package.
No beverage package at all. You pay
No.
for the top.
And then we're going to finish our tour of the promenade by looking at Boleros, which is a big lounge. I think this might be the most popular lounge in the ship in the evenings. It's where the Latin band plays, and it gets full. Like, there's people watching from like halfway through the promenade last night.
Caribbean band was playing there. It has a really good drink menu, amazing drink menu.
And since the last time we've been on a Royal Caribbean ship, they did update the drink menu.
They did.
And some of those new drinks they added, they got rid of some that were like well liquors and added some like nice coconut ones. They're really some good cocktails in there.
And today it is going to be trivia and game shows as well.
I do want to mention, if you go to deck 6 above Boleros, there's actually a balcony you can access. So if you want to watch some of the deck parties or the parade, there is a parade. It's wonderful. It's all piratey themed.
Anchors away.
Yeah, and you can watch from up there and you get a really good view. So I'm a big dork, and I think this is fascinating. The big globe opens up above the pub. It sort of opens up in the middle and then rolls out this big bridge like that acts as a stage for performances. And that is just so cool to watch. Look at that.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Right now we're on the Boardwalk, which is in the back of the cruise ship on deck 6. You can see people on the big rock wall there.
There's 2 on each side.
Yeah. Now the big thing over here is the Aqua Theater, which is where they do their big diving and acrobat show. It's called Ocean Area on the ship, and it's cool. It's really neat. I think I've seen 2 of these now. I think I like the one on the Oasis of the Seas better, the 80s themed one. This one had kind of like a Cirque du Soleil style vibe to it. And so much so that they took like the music from the Nuba and everything. But the show's cool. This show's like any of the shows here, you do have to book it on the app. And this one does fill up because this is a 6,000 passenger ship, and well, there's not a ton of seats over here.
If you don't get reservations, I would probably watch it from deck 7.
Yeah.
Right by the rock wall where those people are. That was empty. This line was very full for standby, and not everyone got in, and by the time standby was told that they couldn't get in, that was filled.
But that was a pretty cool show.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The Boardwalk area has got some different things in it. You've got a beanbag toss game over here, which is just kind of a simple fun thing. For some reason with a Tacoma SLC on it. You've got a bar over here that'll run, runs the same drink menu as Sabor does. You have some upcharge dining here as well with Johnny Rockets and Sabor. But we'll get back to those in just a little bit.
They did have a silent disco party here as well.
Yeah. And then you can see the carousel on the far side.
Make sure you don't take too many trips.
Right by the carousel, you do have some more kid-friendly stuff like the arcade, an ice cream store, and then you've got a candy shop. And something I really like is this is also where you'll find the Boardwalk Doghouse, which is the free, included with your cruise, quick service hot dog place.
I absolutely love the sign.
Yeah, the sign's top notch. And the hot dogs are really good. I really like, there's a Sicilian sausage that was fantastic. In the morning, right across from the Boardwalk Doghouse, they have a donuts area. There's also juices and coffee over here, but mostly donuts. If you want to go to Johnny Rockets for lunch or dinner, it does cost extra, but breakfast is included with the cruise, and that's where we're going to have breakfast this morning. All right, let's take a look at that menu. A standard egg meal. There's a couple of breakfast scramblers. Those sound good. Some breakfast specialties. There are some upcharge options. Oh, look at that maple bacon shaker, breakfast burger, and then sides. Here's what we got for breakfast. I went with a simple breakfast sandwich, a little bacon, egg, and cheese action. Molly got that scrambler, and that looks really, that's a hearty breakfast too. In the Boardwalk section, you will find Sabor, which is where we will be having dinner tonight. We have sat down. Unfortunately, this is an open air restaurant, so it's now August, and we just sailed away from Miami, so it's very, very warm. So they do have 3 specialty margaritas, guacamole that comes in every order, and it's really kind of, you can order as much as you want, which is kind of fun. We did buy this online for about $21. What will we order? I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of good options. As you would expect, the restaurant begins with chips, and then they didn't make a table side, but there is a guacamole he brought out, along with a pico de gallo. The appetizer, of course, has arrived. The guacamole is fantastic. Molly got the queso, which is great. And I, a little weird, jalapeno stuffed with chicken wrapped in bacon. Time for the main course. Molly got chicken and corn empanadas, a pair of pork burritos.
Looks good.
I got yuca fries, barbacoa tacos, and the Mexican steak. For dessert, Molly got the churros, and I got the chocolate banana chimichangas.
On deck 14 forward, you have the sun deck right here. Now you're over the bridge, so you get this awesome view of the helicopter pad, the front of the ship, and you're kind of hanging off the ship. And it's gonna be a quiet place to relax, no music, kind of hidden. On deck 8, midship, you have Central Park area. And this is a gorgeous area, very peaceful. Of course, there's live plants here, and something that you don't see on much cruise ships.
Live plants and fake bird noise.
Yes. It is where a lot of the specialty dining restaurants are. So you had Coach on your right-hand side when we entered. Vintages is our wine bar here. They do wine tastings. They also
have whiskeys, a good selection of whiskeys. If you're looking for a quiet bar to like have a conversation or chat with people, I think Vintage is your best bet. It's probably one of the most quiet bars on the ship.
They have a really good couch, the comfy couch.
They might have nice chairs on the ship.
They do. They also have a couple different champagnes that's covered in the beverage package.
One sparkling wine.
One sparkling wine. Then we have Giovanni's Table, which is the upcharged Italian restaurant here on the ship.
Those chairs look really comfortable.
That is. Over here we have music at night. We have the piano, we have saxophone players,
jazz.
We have jazz bands, we have the guitarist plays.
Yeah.
It's really peaceful and relaxing.
I think my favorite part of Central Park is over here on the right. The Park Cafe.
Yes. I ate here for breakfast. For breakfast, they do have a limited selection, but it's really quiet. They have bagels. They had a regular bagel, an onion bagel. They had ham, salmon, and then pastries and a breakfast sandwich.
They
and
also
then for
do
lunch.
Yeah, lunch. They have like a roast beef carving station every single day with the kumalik sandwich.
Yes.
Which is lovely.
And one of my favorite details are coming up over here in Central Park. These glass birds. I just really love that artwork here. And then we have the bar here.
The trellis bar.
It has the standard menu.
One thing about Central Park, if you're on a sailing in the summertime, it does get very warm here if you're in a warm weather climate.
Yes, even though we're outside, there is not much breeze because there are balconies up here that you can have a balcony that faces the Central Park area.
Yes. And if you rode the Rising Tide elevator bar,
it comes up right here. So it departs downstairs and then comes up here and then goes back down. And again, it goes every about 20 minutes or so.
There are 2 more specialty restaurants. You have 150 Central Park, as well as Chops Grill. Chops Grill's on pretty much every single Royal Caribbean ship. 150 Central Park is not on as many, and you know it's going to be a very fancy restaurant because the first thing you see when you walk in is a bottle of Louis XIII.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very fancy.
One thing I love, if you can get them, is they have these little tables on deck 9. They kind of overlook Central Park. If you want to go and do work or just kind of relax, that might be the most relaxing spot on the entire ship.
Yes, that would be very, very relaxing. And then Chops Grill is, of course, on the other side over here.
They also have umbrellas at either entrance.
Yes, because we're outside.
Weather. And if you had like if your dining time was 9 o'clock, it's pouring at 9, you still want to get there.
And that's a very good service right here. You just bring it and then you drop it off on the other side. And that is the Central Park area on deck 8. On deck 15, in the back of the ship by the sports cars, they have the Wipeout Cafe featuring El Local Fresh. It is quesadillas, tacos, nachos. There's a toppings bar. It's really, really good.
On deck 5, you'll find a big jogging trail outside. And I do like the motivational signage they have. You're right next to the lifeboats in this section. If you finish the walking trail on the rear of the ship, you go actually behind the aqua theater, and you can get a view of the aft of the ship. We're not going too fast today. This was something I did not know was here on deck 6 in the Boardwalk behind the aqua theater. There's a shuffleboard.
It's certainly roped off because they're practicing.
On deck 4, you'll find the Casino Royale, which is the gigantic casino here on the Allure of the Seas. This is like, I think, the biggest casino I've ever seen on a cruise ship. And it was, last night, it was very busy as well. So it's a big casino, but it is a very popular casino. Kind of on the outside, you'll have all of your slot machines. They do also have some video poker machines. And then in kind of the middle, there'll be all of your table games. Molly, what are the table games offered here on Allure of the Seas?
Roulette, blackjack, single deck blackjack, 3-card poker, craps, ultimate Texas Hold'em, Let It Ride, and Baccarat.
All right, so there's quite a few table games. Of course, you can't have a casino without a casino bar.
And there's TVs in the sitting area too, so there's 3 TVs.
Yeah, to watch sports, which is important.
There's no real sports bar here.
Not yet, it's coming.
Yeah.
But man, it is also a smoking casino. So if you are sensitive to smoking, it might not be the area for you. They do have some coin pusher games as well. And I do want to show you guys something over here. Here at the casino host, I like that they have a matrix that shows off how many points you would get. And points are for a certain amount of coin in on the machines.
Yeah.
And what kind of prizes you would get for it. So if you're in like 1,500 points, you get an interior stateroom on a cruise ship. So that would be a free cruise. They also have the loyalty rewards and like what kind of discounts you would get on every cruise, depending on what kind of ranking you have in the gambling. I really like this. Also on deck 4, right by the main theater and the nightclub, you've got a non-smoking casino. Now this is going to be much, much, much smaller than the main casino. But if you like gambling and really don't like cigarette smoke, you'd come in here. Much smaller, you can see there's only 3 table games and a couple of slot machines.
I like how they have the TVs above the game table.
Yeah, well, you don't want the gamblers if they want to watch the game.
Yeah.
You want to keep them entertained. One thing about this one, a bummer, my favorite machines are the video poker, video blackjack, and there are unfortunately none in the non-smoking casino. And there's no bar in here, it's very small. We are currently on deck 6 at the Schooner Bar. The Schooner Bar has run some pretty long hours. It's got a great cocktail menu in here. I'm drinking one of my favorite drinks on the ship, a rum old-fashioned made with Bacardi 8. Molly, what did you get?
A desert pear margarita. It's really good.
Now, Schooner Bar, there'll be some trivias in here during the day, but its main focus is in the evening. There's music over here, and it's normally the piano guy.
They also have a guitarist sometimes.
On decks 3, 4, and 5, in the back of the ship, we get the absolutely massive main dining room on the Allure of the Seas. Now, tonight is the final night of our 4-night vacation, and we're going to take you along for the main dining room experience. And let's take a look at that menu for our final night on the ship. Got 6 different starters. Now, some of them are there every single night of the cruise, like the French onion soup and the Caesar salad. Main courses, stuff that costs extra money, and desserts. Dinner service begins every night with a selection of breads and butter. The appetizer course has arrived. I went with the Mediterranean tapas medley, and Molly went with a classic French onion soup.
Would definitely have to go to.
The main course has arrived. I got the grilled steak with chimichurri sauce, and Molly went for the Thanksgiving dinner option. There's a show happening as dessert showed up. I got a Black Forest trifle. Molly got a brownie.
And I got ice cream.
Something I really like about this cruise ship, before you go into the main dining room on deck 3, there is a bar.
Towards the back of the ship, on deck 8 is...
And deck 9.
And deck 9, yes, is Dazzles. Dazzles is mainly used at night, and it is a band, usually your cruise ship party band. You also had your orchestra here. There was a bingo in here.
As well as that tune?
Yep, as well as some trivia's over here. And
big space.
It is a bar down here.
I think somebody got married here on day 2.
Yes, I think it is your private event space. There's a bar here, and then upstairs there's more seating. Unlike other cruise ships, this does not have a pool bar though, or like pool table. Yeah, pool table.
It's kind of cool because you do look out like over the boardwalk.
Yes.
On decks 5 and 6 in the front of the ship, that's where you'll find the Vitality at Sea section, which is home to the spa as well as the fitness center. Now, Molly and I were not really particularly big spa people, but we did take the spa tour to check things out. And I will say it was a very tranquil vibe in the spa. Lots of cool, relaxing places to sit before you get your treatments done. And I thought that was really, really pretty. Now, the spa is also home to a big salon section where if you want to get a manicure or a pedicure or your hair done up for formal night, they also have plenty of massages and treatments if you're into that kind of thing available for purchase. Now, something I would consider doing in the spa is this IV therapy. Essentially, it's more or less a hangover cure. They're very popular in Las Vegas. There's also the thermal suite. Now, this is something you can buy a pass for the entire cruise and hang out on those stone loungers and big rainforest showers and saunas, a very relaxing section. The spa area is also home to the Spa Cafe, which will have a selection of Powerades and energy drinks, as well as fresh pressed juices, protein shakes, and smoothies. While I didn't make it there, this is what the gym looks like on the Allure of the Seas. Lots and lots of cardio equipment, and there is plenty of weight machines as well.
On deck 16 in the back of the ship, we have the Windjammer buffet. And the line for the Windjammer cafe, it is quite a wait, but there are other places to eat here. But we'll show you what is here for dinner on night 4. They have a beverage station with water, lemonade, and fruit punch, which is included in your cruise. Of course, you have your coffees and teas also included. A great selection of bread, including my favorite, the cheese soft roll. Amazing. They have a salad station where you can do salad toppings, salad dressing, and lettuce. They also have pre-made Caesar salad and some cold salads and antipasta. On the carving station, they have a roasted turkey. They have breadsticks, and look at all the different types of cheeses, olives, and dips. They have a sun-dried tomato butter and a pesto butter. Looks really good. You have some cold cuts. We have some pasta with Alfredo sauce and tomato sauce. Your favorite.
The tendies.
The chicken nuggets. And then we have mac and cheese. Some cheesy baked potatoes and some fish fillet. And then we have mashed potatoes and gravy. We have a Mediterranean section with lamb muska. We have some beef souvlaki and chicken, as well as some falafels and jambalaya. Of course, you can't have a buffet without hot dogs, hamburgers, and steak, as well as some fries. Something I don't know if I've seen on a buffet before, we have a churro station.
Oh man.
For dessert, we have an apple crumble and vanilla sauce. And also without a buffet, your fruit section, your pineapples, watermelons, which would probably be great because it's so hot outside, yeah, and your pineapples. There is an Asian and Indian section. Finishing up the buffet with desserts, you have a chocolate cherry tart.
Oh, that's happening. That is definitely happening.
Yeah, you have a peach trifle. You have some cookies, your macadamia nut, and your sugar cookies. You have a carrot cake. You have some Jell-O. And
I have no idea what this is.
I have no idea what this is.
Just show the sign. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
It does contain nuts.
So, be warned, allergies. I also want to mention there is two sides of the buffet.
They're mirrored.
They're exactly mirrored.
There's nobody in this side.
There is. It was not open when we first came in. I'm not sure if they're still setting up. But everything looks out and ready to go. Look at this Greek salad. I didn't see that.
I feel like it would have been way less awkward on this side.
The buffet does not have a bar, but they do have spur bars that they're setting up right now. And there has been no line for the spare bars if you're looking for just beer. The buffet is one of the places with the freestyle machine, as well as downstairs on deck 5 at the Promenade. The best place to find a spot to eat in the buffet is all the way in the back.
You also get the best view.
You do get the best view over here. You get the zip line and the flow rider area with the sign saying Allure of the Seas. Now, we have not eaten much at the buffet because it is a very, very kind of chaos area.
I thought this was the best meal I've seen at the buffet.
Yes. Breakfast, there's so many different options, so we have not even stepped a foot in here for breakfast.
Seen a line I very, very love.
Yes.
Up on deck 14, you'll find Adventure Ocean, which is the complex for most of the kids' clubs on board the Allure of the Seas. Now, as you expect in a kids' club area, the art is all fun and colorful, and there's all sorts of different rooms for the kids to do their activities. Some of the little ones, they've got a really cool room with a slide. That would be super duper fun. And different activities happen at different times for the kids, so there'll be a room here where they could do like fun science experiments. There's a different room where they could do all sorts of arts and crafts. Adventure Ocean, you also find the Adventure Ocean Theater, which is a small venue they use to show movies while on board the Allure of the Seas. And there'll be family movies during the day and more adult movies at night, like they played Guardians of the Galaxy 3 one evening. So this is an all-ages area of this section of the ship. And my favorite part, one time of the day, they did a blacklight puppet show in here, which was very, very well done. I grew up a huge fan of the Muppets, and this was actually a really strong puppet show. Lots of different puppets and sets. It was cool. On deck 15, you'll find Fuel, which is the pretty good-sized teen club on board the Allure of the Seas. They were doing all-ages inflatable archery at one point, so we got to check things out. Don't know much more about it besides that, but hey, it's actually a pretty good space for the teens. On deck 15, you'll find the living room, which is an unsupervised lounge dedicated for teens aged 12 to 17. Pretty good space, too. Looks like they got foosball in there.
Yeah.
On deck 15, you'll find the Challenger's Video Arcade, which is the larger of the two arcades on board this ship.
There's another one on deck 6.
Yes, in the boardwalk area, but that's much, much smaller. Now, all these games do unfortunately cost money. So if you have kids on board and they've got their own card, just you might want to set a spending limit. There's prize games as well as arcade games. I would say definitely not the most modern arcade you'll see. I do like these games because this is like air hockey that drops a million pucks and they're super duper fun. Got it. Some fun stuff over there.
Willy Crash.
Willy Crash is a fun game.
Yeah, that is a fun game.
Oh man, look at these kind of racing games over here too. Those look super fun.
Oh, that was very fun.
And like if you want to play these games, like these racing games here, they're $2 a piece. If you want to play the big ticket wheel, that is also $2. Look at this very strange piece of art.
I like their hat.
Yes, this is pretty unique piece of art here. On the elevator bank towards the rear of the ship, look at this cool art of all these like kind of like dresses made out of jewels. Also, it's a long way down. Holy moly. In the art gallery, they have this really cool sculpture for the Allure of the Seas. The Allure of the Seas is a giant ship. So we're on day 4. And I just found this weird art of these 2 cool pigeons. It's right by the Comedy Club.
In the elevator, one thing I don't like is it doesn't tell you what's on what level. They do have symbols for your main attractions, and also there's some buttons that does not work. Oh, no, that worked.
Going down.
On deck 4, right by the main dining room, you'll find Izumi, Hibachi, and Sushi, which is an upcharge restaurant. A good time. It's always fun to do the hibachi where the guys cook it right in front of you. It's always a fun communal experience. Food's really good. We are not going to try it on this cruise, though, saving a little bit of money. On deck 4, in between Studio B and the casino, is where you will find the art gallery on board. One thing that's interesting, the pictures that hang up, they do change from day to day. Like yesterday, they had a whole bunch of like Avengers and Star Wars ones out, and today they've got some Disney ones out. And they do all of your kind of art auctions and art events as well. On deck 15, they kind of have a neat, more or less museum about Royal Caribbean, and they talk about like different things that were introduced on different classes, like the carousel was introduced on the Oasis class ship.
It's crazy the Voyager class had the first ice skating, like that was an old...
And some stuff that's definitely not offered anymore, like I don't think they have a boxing ring on the Freedom class anymore. And then if you're curious what this ship looked like, it is absolutely gigundo. They have a big model. On deck 11, you'll find the library on board. Lots and lots of books, comfy looking chairs.
Yeah, those chairs look amazing.
But one book they don't have, well, Experience the Point, Volume 3, written by our own Andrew Hyde. We take Hyde's book and we leave it on every cruise ship we go on, so come here and find it in the library. On deck 11, you'll find the Crown Lounge, which is a space on the ship reserved for members of the loyalty program that are diamond status and higher. That is not quite me. After this cruise, I'll be 6 nights away. So
yeah, you're getting very close.
Getting close to going in the forbidden door. On deck 14, you'll find the card room on board. Very big card room.
Yeah, very nice.
One thing I do like, they have like these chess tables with all the pieces. They're in like the little cabinets. And there's other games you can play. Also, man, that's a weird puzzle.
Spam.
1,000-piece Spam puzzle.
I had a roommate that loved Spam and would eat it every morning.
That's weird. Scrabble Jr. looks adorable.
And then there's computers.
Yeah.
And then daily puzzles are in here.
Ooh. All the way at the top of the ship on deck 17, you'll get the suite lounge. So if you're staying in a suite, you get your own bar area. If you're staying in a suite, you also get access to the Coastal Kitchen restaurant, and they have their own sun deck as well. On deck 6, above the Royal Promenade, you have some nuts and bolts stuff, like the photo gallery, where if you took any pictures on the ship or on the island, you could buy them over there. There's also the shore excursions desk, and then behind me is the loyalty desk, so if you have any Crown and Anchor questions. And last but certainly not least, our stateroom. We are in deck 7, 321. Kind of nice. We booked a guaranteed interior, and we ended up with a boardwalk view window. A big cabin, I think.
A giant, yes. A full-size couch, a decent, comfortable bed.
Solid TV.
Yeah, the TV's okay. It's a little bit on the smaller side, and it doesn't turn fully if you're in the bed.
No, but who needs a TV when you have a double iPod charger?
Yeah, iPad.
Yeah, so I saw this on a different video. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I still have an iPod in my car in case we're like on a road trip in the middle of nowhere. And yep, both the iPod and the thing still works.
There's decent storage.
Yeah, especially right now it's doing short night sailings. Mm-hmm. There's a fridge down there, which we have stocked with Powerades. Here is our view. I mean, obviously not the best view. We're on deck 7, which is one deck above the boardwalk. But you get to see Johnny Rockets, all these people in their balconies, and you can see some of the Aqua Show, which is kind of cool. Molly, I think it's time to show off everyone's favorite part of the cruise ship experience.
The bathroom?
The bathroom. But first, a word of warning. If you're going on this cruise ship, I made this mistake on night 1. Molly was not feeling well, so I tucked her into bed, then I turned off all the lights. I also turned off the master switch, which turns off the air conditioning as well.
I was going to say, they do give you a warning, but
yes.
Listen to that warning, it is true.
Here is the bathroom. We do have a small shower. I thought it was pretty fine.
I don't like how it's only one hand and body.
Yeah, the hair and body wash.
Yeah.
You have some storage space over here, and as well as your classic, terrifying cruise ship toilet noise. And there we go. That'll do it for our 4-night sailing on the Allure of the Seas. What a ship that thing is. It is gigantic. So much things to do. So many things to eat. A little bit of information about our sailing. It was $305 each for our interior cabin. Plus, I think that doesn't include the taxes and fees. Now, if you buy a cruise, the taxes and fees are included, like on the Royal Caribbean or any other cruise website, which is really, really nice.
No, that's really nice.
It'd be cool if they brought in the gratuities as well. You kind of get that bill at the end, and you're like, oh, hamburgers. But anyway, yeah, $305. So a little more than I would normally pay for that 4-night sailing. But I really wanted to go on a ship like this. It's been a while since I've been on the Oasis of the Seas, and I really enjoyed it. Now, with any kind of vacation, I think there's going to be parts you like and parts you don't like. Let's start out with some of the positives and some of the things we really liked about the ship. I think the first and foremost is the crew. The crew works incredibly hard, and they were incredibly friendly.
Everyone that you met was very, very friendly. For me, the Blue Planet show in the theater, very spectacular. It was amazing, giant set pieces, kept me entertained. The costuming, giant cast, everything about that show was amazing. Don't miss that show.
It wasn't 2.5 hours like some of the other productions on board.
That show was good too.
Yes, you enjoyed it much more than I did. All right, I really like the appetizers at Sabor. I'm not sure if I would recommend Sabor, if it was worth that upcharge or not, but the appetizers over there were delicious. Your cheese dip and my bacon wrapped chicken peppers, those were pretty awesome.
I liked how many places there were to get food. You had the hot dog place. Oh, so good. You had different options for breakfast. Your beef sandwiches.
Yeah, and I really liked how you could avoid the buffet too. Like you could go to El Loco Fresh or all these other options, which you really need on a buffet with 6,000 people. Some silly stuff. I really like the parade they do, the Anchors Away Pirate Parade. That is simple fun. And as part of that, they have that crazy animatronic robot pirate bridge.
I've never seen that before. I love how it's hidden.
Yeah. Also shenanigans. I'm a big fan of shenanigans, in case you hadn't tell. Molly really enjoyed the Mamma Mia show. I liked the Blacklight Puppet show in the kids' theater.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have kids. We went, we enjoyed it. We made sure we sat in the back so we didn't block kids' views. But it was amazing. Go see the show. Yeah,
the puppet show was a good time. Mozzarella sticks on Perfect Day at Coco Cay. For a while there, both on like Celebrity Cruise Line, which is part of Royal Caribbean, as well as Coco Cay, they switched to a not as good brand of mozzarella sticks, but the good stuff's back, and it's delicious.
I was shocked with how well maintained the ship was. It's very clean. They were always working on it. Nothing was in repair.
Yeah, and this is a cruise ship that is going down for a major dry dock refurbishment. They're going to spend like $100 million to fix it up. So it's going to get a lot nicer, but you wouldn't know that it's getting ready to go for a long winter's nap.
I also really liked the ice show. The ice show was really well done. I liked how it had different genres of music, so it was for everyone, I felt like. Kids, older people, good family show.
Yeah, and they had specialty acts in there as well, some big jugglers. Now, those are some of the things we did enjoy. Some of the things we did not like as much. Actually, before we do the bad parts, let's continue with the good. The staff shout-outs. We have some of our favorite employees that we met while on our sailing. In the main dining room, Getty and Louisa at table 109, Rico at the floating bar, and I didn't get his name, but our tram driver at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, who sounded like Korg from the Thor movies.
Yeah, no, they were very, very, went above and beyond.
Indeed. All right, now some of those things we did not like as much. I think for me, the number one was pretty obvious. Those elevators, they are small, they are crowded, they are hot. And there's a lot of them. I think there's at least 24 elevators on the ship, not counting the elevator bar. So there's a lot of elevators. It's just with the ship being that big,
everyone's taking the elevators.
Yeah. Nobody's going to walk from that gangway down from on deck 2 all the way up to deck 17.
For me, I thought there was a lacking of entertainment for such a massive ship. The venues were small, so if you didn't get there within 15 minutes before your game show, there was nothing to do, and there was only like one game show. I felt like per night, I felt like there could have been more entertainment.
Yeah, like not like your big marquee entertainment, but your smaller things, your singles and doubles, like
Your
your
trivias, your game shows.
Yeah, maybe an afternoon musician or two. That would have been nice to see. Another big negative for me, and we really did not eat at the buffet much at all. But if you want to go to the buffet during breakfast, there is a massive queue that goes like all around. I think it's deck 16, and like that buffet is chaos.
Yeah.
And like we didn't eat there much. I really don't think you have to eat there much. Like
You can avoid it if you want.
Yeah,
to.
Solarium Bistro is going to have similar food. Not quite as many options, but those buffet lines were not great.
One of my negatives, every single night, all 4 nights, we got reminded to do the survey. On day 1, I do not want to be reminded to do a survey.
I don't want to be reminded at all.
I understand that it's important for the crew, and I think Royal Caribbean focuses a lot on those scores, and if they don't get a 10 out of 10 perfect, they get reprimanded. But I should not be reminded 7 or 8 times on a 4 night to do a survey.
It's very annoying, and you're a guest. You're paying a bunch of money to be there. You shouldn't get reminded to do homework, essentially.
Yeah, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, every day.
I don't like that they charge for popcorn, like in front of a bunch of the show venues. They charge for popcorn, and it smells wonderful. It smells so good. You want to pay the $3.50, and then you're like, but pizza's free right now, and I can get one of those tasty little sandwiches.
For us, we had a wonderful crew. However, there was 2 officers that we had a really bad experience with.
Yeah, I'll start out with the one in the main dining room. Like the main dining room, we were waiting for a table. Sometimes table waits do get long. We had the my dining, and kind of the officer went up and was like reprimanding the crew member right in front of us.
And he didn't help. It wasn't like he was doing anything.
No, he just comes over, yells at him, and walks away. And like for me as a guest, that makes me feel bad. Like I don't want to be here. I don't want to eat here anymore. It puts me in a bad mood. And then yours was, I was enjoying some martinis, and you went to go get El Loco Fresh.
I was going to El Loco Fresh, and it was a very, very long line. And there was 2 toppings bar, one inside and one outside. And there was an officer who was trying to move the line along, and he said, "We have a toppings bar outside, no need to wait in here." Well, one of the guests in front of me, about 5 people in front, said, "Well, there's no guacamole at that one." And then he pointed at the person behind, "Well, you can go out there. No, well, I want guacamole too." We all said we want a guacamole in there, and he said, "Not everyone can have guacamole."
What on earth, dude? What
I know you're trying to speed up the line, but don't reprimand someone for wanting guacamole.
You can't all get guacamole. And it's very simple too. Like the right thing to say was, "Hey, there's another toppings bar outside. It doesn't currently have guacamole, but it's got everything else. If you don't want guacamole, you could get your toppings right away."
Nope, everyone can't have guacamole.
Everyone can have guacamole. Thanks for paying $400 each for this vacation. All right, so there we go. The ups and the downs, the Allure of the Seas. It was awesome. I think we'll have to go back after they do this big refurbishment too and see what it's like. If you got any questions about the Allure, let us know in the comments section below. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you didn't watch videos like this, well, we couldn't go on this many cruises. It's one of our favorite things to do. So thank you very much.